So, Spider-Man versus Batman. It's a highly debated fight amongst fans, but today we're doing Insomniac Spider-Man against Arkham's Batman. Who wins? Well, let's find out. So let's talk about strength, and for being just a dude, Arkham Batman is insanely strong. Um, he has no enhancements, and yet he's just insanely strong, beyond Olympic level of physical conditioning. He's routinely just ragdoll dudes and just sent them flying all around. He's easily ripped metal vents off of walls, easily broken bones, lift dudes with just one hand, and warped metal. He's fought against and KO'd Bane, Killer Croc, and Venom-enhanced thugs multiple times, even Venom-enhanced Joker. He's just wrecked Riddler's metal robots to bits. He's busted through reinforced glass walls, metal doors, and floors. He's even lifted and through Joker like 30 feet and fought against Solomon Grundy, breaking out of his grip and eventually knocking him out as well. But Spider-Man is superhumanly strong. He has also just sent people flying all around and jumped several stories in a single bound. He's lifted a large pile of debris. He's lifted cars and trucks, as well as stopped speeding cars and trucks. He's stopped a helicopter from taking off and temporarily held up an entire crane. He's broken off one of Otto's mechanical arms and smashed Hunter's Wolf and Eagle drones to bits. He's also fought against and beaten the big heavy hitters like Lizard, Rhino, Hammerhead, Scream, and Venom. He was even able to temporarily restrain and or send those guys flying as well. Batman is insanely strong for a human, but he's not superhumanly strong. Durability. Spider-Man has withstood hits from all of his villains: Sandman, Kingpin, Mr. Negative, Doc Ock, Lizard, Rhino, Venom, etc. He's taken blasts from Electro and Shocker just fine. He's withstood being rammed and thrown through walls and slammed multiple times, and large explosions, and just got right back up after all of it. He even survived being stabbed by Scorpion's venomous stinger, followed by a brutal beatdown from the Sinister Six that led to several broken bones. He's also survived being stabbed in the stomach by Kraven. His suit seems to be at least fire resistant too. But Batman has withstood hits from blunt weapons, hit by a speeding car, multi-story falls and explosions just fine as well. He's kept fighting after taking hits from Riddler's big mech, Killer Croc, Bane, Venom-enhanced Joker and thugs, and Poison Ivy's big monstrous plant thing after she got the venom. He's remained conscious after taking a brutal beatdown from Bane, which included being pounded on, sent through stone walls, sent flying, thrown into concrete, and taking a backbreaker. He's taken hits from Solomon Grundy and kept on fighting after being stabbed in the shoulder and pulling out the blade. He's been shot somewhere in the torso at point blank range and being poisoned by Copperhead's deadly venom as well. His armor is bullet and slashing resistant as well. So, while Bruce's armor is better than Peter's suit, Peter himself is physically tougher than Bruce. Speed. Batman is insanely fast. Just insanely fast. Routinely dodged and evaded gunfire, even from very skilled marksmen like Arkham Knight and Deadshot. He's dodged missiles and rockets, point-blank explosions, knives thrown at him from behind, and he's blocked shurikens. He's blitzed gunmen before they could fire, dodged turret fire while gliding towards the shooter, and even disarmed Hush in a split second while at least 2 meters away from him. He also just fights at an insane pace, and his fights with Deathstroke is a testament to that as he matched the meta-human. But Spider-Man has routinely dodged machine gun fire, even from multiple shooters, while swinging closer to them. He's dodged blasts and attacks from Electro, Shocker, and Mr. Negative. He's dodged, caught, and redirected rockets, and thrown back explosives before they could explode. He's ran along the side of a subway train and caught up to speeding trains and cars easily. He's also routinely dodged bullets, rockets, and projectiles from behind as well. Peter is physically faster and more agile, but that's not the only reason why he takes this edge, because he also has his spider sense, a sixth sense that alerts him to any and all incoming danger, and it literally slows his perception of time down. That's why he's so good at reacting to those attacks, no matter how fast they are, or if he can see them, or if he can even see them coming. So Spider-Man is better physically across the board. However, we know Spider-Man holds back, especially when fighting against people, and while Batman doesn't kill, he beats the holy hell out of people into unconsciousness, even superhuman foes. So, let's move on to skill. Batman is the greatest fighter in the Arkham verse. You can't convince me otherwise. He's a master of virtually all martial art forms, of acrobatics, marksmanship, and of stealth. His fighting style is a combination of dozens of fighting forms, combined with very fast, powerful blows and acrobatics, while also targeting weak areas. His fighting style even changes over time. He's routinely taken out whole massive groups of thugs, mercenaries, robots, and ninjas, and usually did it without even getting hit or in a short amount of time. He's matched or bested Deathstroke, who's capable of beating 100 men at once. He is a super soldier, a premier assassin, and he's even been considered to be a meta-human who's a one-man army, and Batman has matched or bested him every time they have fought. He bested Arkham Knight, Azrael, and Deadshot. He beat Ra's al Ghul, who has over 600 years of fighting experience and training. He was also able to stalemate Lady Shiva while also beating other ninjas, and she is stated to be unmatched in combat. His ability to just blend into the shadows is so great that he is constantly taking out whole rooms of men without even being spotted. That's how great of mastery of stealth he has. He is, without a doubt, the more trained and skilled fighter out of the two. There's no question. There's no question to it. Peter has never been formally trained, but he's definitely picked up a thing or two over the last decade-long run as Spider-Man, and he's definitely an effective fighter. He's learned to throw a good punch while holding back, because if he didn't hold back, you'd be decapitating people. His fighting style really focuses on his agility, his webs, gadgets, and spider sense. He's taken out whole groups of thugs, mercenaries, hunters, symbiotes, fire cultists, etc., etc. And while most of his villains aren't skilled fighters, two do come to mind. He's fought off Kraven, who was an expert combatant and master hunter. He also beat Taskmaster, who was already a skilled martial artist in his own right, but he also had studied Spider-Man and had perfectly mimicked Peter's style of fighting, and he knew how to counter it. Spider-Man still bested him. That shows great resourcefulness and adaptability. He's also done the same thing when it comes to his stealth as Batman. But nonetheless, Batman is still the more trained and experienced fighter. Versatility. Both carry a lot of gadgets, but I'm only going to be mentioning the ones that can be useful in combat, starting with Batman. Firstly, his mask has his detective mode, and while that usually is just used for detective stuff, it does allow him to see enemies through walls and to see what weapons they are carrying, so he can properly prepare for them. He has batarangs which he can throw 3 at a time. He also has sonic batarangs, smoke pellets, explosive gel, grapple gun, and the bat claw. He can also electrify his gauntlets for greater impacts with his punches, and his cape can also be used to daze foes. Spider-Man's most noticeable weapon is his web shooters. He can shoot little web blasts to stun or wrap up foes. They've completely restrained people, even big brutes like Kingpin. They've stopped speeding cars, lifted up an entire train, held up a helicopter, and even held up an entire crane. But that's not all he has. He has his concussive web blasts, spider drones that seek out foes and blast little energy bolts at them for a brief time, web trip mines, the suspension matrix, which lifts foes into the air for a short time, web grabber, which grabs multiple foes and rams them into each other, and electric webs as well. He also now has the 4 extra tentacle arms that can come out of his back that can do all sorts of stuff as well. Kind of like in the MCU, you know. He can also crawl on walls and ceilings. They're both are also great strategists and tacticians, but with Batman having the slight edge over Peter. So, with all of that taken into consideration, who wins, Batman or Spider-Man? Well, neither of them will be able to sneak up on the other. If Batman tries to hide in the shadows, Spider-Man's spider sense will go off, and he'll know exactly where Batman is at. But if Spider-Man tries to do the same thing, Batman will always be able to see him with his detective mode. Now, Spider-Man is physically better across the board. Anything Bruce can do, Peter can do, and more. But Batman is far more skilled and experienced than Peter is. He's been doing the Batman thing longer than Peter has done the Spider-Man thing. And while fighting and beating Kraven and Taskmaster is impressive even without the circumstances, especially with Taskmaster, that just doesn't compare to Deathstroke, Ra's al Ghul, and Lady Shiva. However, the difference in experience is only 2 years by the time Bruce goes into hiding after his identity is revealed at the end of Arkham Knight, so that's not a big difference when it comes to experience. Spider-Man's gadgets are also better in the sense that they're just more convenient while in battle. Like, Batman's explosive gel is literally a gel that it has to be sprayed and then detonated by him. The rest have to be thrown. All of Spider-Man's are literally just shot out of his web shooters. And then Batman's going to have a real hard time even hitting him with his spider sense. Of course, Peter can get overwhelmed, and he's obviously been hit hundreds of times during his Spider-Man career. But add that with his greater speed and agility, and Batman's going to have a real hard time even landing a hit. And while Batman is overall tactically and strategically better, it's not by a lot at all. Intelligence in general, Batman does not have a big edge over Peter. So Batman's only true advantage is his far superior skill, and I just don't see that being enough here. Spider-Man is stronger, faster, has better gadgets, has a spider sense, is nearly as experienced and intelligent, and can deal with more skilled fighters like Batman. So yeah, I'm siding with Spider-Man here. After a good fight, Batman does not go down easy. He puts up one hell of a fight. Peter really has to dig down deep here. But yeah, Spider-Man is winning this one at the end of the day. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy. Leave a comment of what you thought and hit the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos and all that great stuff. I truly do appreciate it. Please go check out my new Instagram account, dmanversus.videos. It would really help out the channel, and I would greatly appreciate that as well. But nonetheless, have a great day. Peace.